and just see what we can get. Okay, here I am over here. Francis Walsh, Technology Director at Aurum Meum AI. In fact, I could switch all over here and just look at you, myself. That's me. I'm the Technology Director at Aurum Meum AI Academy and Aurum Meum AI Gold Maps. My name's Francis. You might have seen the last live, and I had a beard, and I looked like I just came from the claim. And someone, like my wife, said, if you're going to do live, you need to cut all that stuff off and, let's get rid of all that look so that we can focus on the goal maps and not your face. And though, as men and as husbands, we hate to take advice, we take the advice and we know that it's good advice. So that's what we do. Okay, but here I am in my studio. I can switch back from my face to the map and the map to my face. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm live. So I'm going to stay here. You'll probably be able to see this, but I'm going to shrink or minimize this a little bit for myself so I can, I don't know what's the best way to do this really, except to just open it up and go, and I'm visiting my own YouTube right now to see if I'm actually on my own page. Okay, I can see that I am live right now. So thank you, YouTube, for making me live. I'm live on other places, but most of the folks who interact with this content, Aurum Meum Academy, Aurum Meum AI, do it here on YouTube or on the website. I have it on Facebook, I have it on Instagram, I have it on X, but it's not nearly as popular on those profiles. So, eventually we'll get there. We'll grow that as well. Today and every day, we're going to upload some new content of some kind. That's really what we want to do. We want to upload some kind of content sometime every day so that you have an opportunity to watch, right? Or hear or learn or listen to some great gold geology. A lot of it's geology, but you have to recognize that the geology is focused on finding gold, finding the minerals around gold, finding why there's gold there. And for as much as we want everything to be 100% right, you and I both know there's variables in every location. That includes geology. But if you make your way, like right now, we're building a 30-episode gold geology fundamentals playlist. Some of the clips get great views and they're loved a lot, and some of the clips don't get a lot of views and they're not loved as much. But I want you to know that if you go into this latest playlist of ours, and I'll get our profile set up so that is right up there front and center, you are going to get 30 great clips that will give you an enormous amount of information about the geology around gold prospecting, gold geology, the processes of gold movement, and all those other things. You should probably already know that we're trying our best to try to cover as much of the gold geology information source as possible. And that was really half of the package. That's why we have Aurum Meum AI Academy and we have Aurum Meum AI Gold Maps, because they're two different things. Someone who may want a map may not want to have any extra knowledge. Someone who may want a lot of knowledge but not need a map. And then there's those who are starting off and want knowledge and quickly want a map. And we hook them together and we make sure that we give you great service at the same time. I'm going to try my best to look at the camera as much as possible. So if you catch me looking away, it's me looking at the computer or anything. So let's go back. Let's get off, because right now I'm just looking at my YouTube page. Let's go back. Let's switch out. Let's get back into here. And we're going to utilize this map, and I hope it all works. If it doesn't work the way I want it to, we'll just correct it. It's not a big deal. there's nothing in life that's such a big deal that it either can't be corrected, it either can't be overlooked, or it can be accepted. That's the hardest part, right? Accepting things. Overlooking things is easy. You don't have to accept it, you just overlook it. Okay, here's the map, right? I zoom in I'm using a mouse. I'm using a mouse with a roller wheel. So when I roll my wheel forward, I get a zoom in. When I roll my wheel back, I get a zoom out. And I can zoom out and zoom out and zoom out. And the only thing I have that's going to show me a map is going to be the map of the state that you purchased. Now, if you want to buy multiple states, we have a deal for three states right now for $65. We can do other deals. There's nothing set in stone. I can release this whole country and sell you the whole country's map. And in fact, I have a global map as well. But we are intent, as much as we are with you, intent on focusing on the areas we want to focus on. We've come into the decision that having it state by state is the best way to do it. It gives you an opportunity to not pay too much, because honestly, if I had to sell the whole state, it would cost a lot more. And it gives you an opportunity to pick and choose which states you want. If there's any question about the cost of the maps, I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot find anyone else with this map. That's not because there's, okay, so you saw a little bar pop up, there's a little issue, and I'm going to show right here. Seems like there's a little part of the layer, this part right there. I'm going to refresh it. If I ever get a part that doesn't want to refresh, I'm going to go ahead and refresh it. And again, I pray to God that, the map works correctly the way I want to, because of course we want everything to work wonderful. And I was currently having an issue with my internet, but good, thank God. I was having an issue with my internet, and that's why it took me an extra 12 minutes to get online. I had to go upstairs, unplug my router, put it back together. Oh, no. And we're going to watch. Here's over here is all the layers loading. When all that dark gray is away, you'll know that all your layers have loaded correctly. Sometimes as it loads, there may be a little jimmy in your internet connection, or it doesn't load the whole thing, or whatever. I will tell you, once you load these a couple of times, if your internet connection is great and you have a great connection, right? Now I'm doing it through Wi-Fi. I should be doing this through a hardwire, especially because I'm trying to stream, and I've got high def, and we're trying to stream, and we're trying to load these heavy data maps. But we're gonna go with it. The red that you see loading are the open claims, but let's just get there. We're just watching this load so that even if you're a new user, you'll have this experience that you can come to on our YouTube and watch this map load. How does it load? What's it loading? What are we taking? That last bar was the fault line. Okay, see, now there's no issue. It loaded completely. Are we waiting for anything else? I don't know if we're waiting for anything else. This layers tab is the tab. That layers tab right there is the tab that contains all the action, the check marks you can turn on and off. You put the check there, you take the check away, you put the layer on, you put the layer off. The slide bars, you make the layer opaque, or you make it less opaque, or you make it disappear, basically. But here, the way these layers have been layered, we have the gold deposits, which are the yellow dots, which are on top. Well, actually, the way it looks, it's like the blue dots are critical minerals that are not gold. So any critical minerals that you may think of that are not gold, you are able to come to these blue dots and find that these have been historically registered as locations where critical minerals have been found. Not necessarily gold. Now, as you can see, there's blue dots over gold dots. So you may have found critical minerals and gold, because we already know from our experience that we find a lot of different minerals with gold, because all the minerals traveled at one time or another, for the most part, with hydrothermals. Hydrothermals created by a hydrothermal heat underground, many times by volcanoes. That hydrothermal fluid makes its way up toward the surface of Earth, of the surface of the Earth, where it dissipates and hardens, and depending on the location, the locale, and the types of minerals in that hydrothermal fluid, you have your opportunity to find gold. I don't want to talk too much about hydrothermals. I don't want to talk too much about geology, but I do want to talk about the maps. So, see, now you see how much faster that loaded? You'll see right now how much faster. I'm going to zoom back in, zoom back out. So you say, oh, Francis, why did it take so long to load? Well, the first time, the second time, a couple of times that you get into it, it's going to take a while. But once you get that data loaded, it moves pretty quickly. I'm going to take you right to where my claims are. I'm going to show you a little bit about turning on and turning off these layers. Here's our action bar, layers. Okay, I'm going to turn everything off. Let's turn everything off. We'll just disperse everything. Now, something else I have to deal with. My mouse moves farther than I want it to. So I have a hard time sometimes clicking on these small movements. So if you see my hand jittering around, okay, so all the layers are off. And what do you get? You have just a map. We have the roadway map. Now, this is roadway map, believe it or not. I know everybody's got one, but the roadway map is very important, because your roadway map you use to gain access to the locations that you found you want to prospect. Without a road, you can not have a road, but without having a road nearby, you're going to have a long hike to wherever you're going to go. So utilizing the roadway and the location of the gold deposits, wherever they may be. And then, of course, we have just the standard. Those are two layers right there. We have the roadway map. We have the satellite map. Depending on what map you want to use, that's really up to you. Okay, if I want to turn on the Arizona boundary, I can do that, because that's a part of this. And if I want to just kind of have that sitting out there, I'm going to turn it way down, though, okay, just so we have a very, very, very light elevation. And I'm just going to click through some of these so people get an example of what we're talking about. These layers are very detailed. I should really... Now, our claims, and I say they're our claims because just as much as they are mine, I'm going to share them, the information, the content, maybe even some gold nuggets once we get them going, right? Of course. With all my viewers and everyone who wants to take part in this process. Now, I know right away that my gold claim, Salome, lies right in there. These little two ridges right here, we have the Harquahala and the Little Harquahala Mountains. There's Salome right there. Here's Salome right here. Okay, I'm going to pull it down a little bit. And then I'm going to show you what we have with Salome right here. These are the Harquahala Mountains here, and these are the Little Harquahala Mountains here. I think I already expressed this to you. I purchased my claims. I can teach you how to create a claim from no claim. I can teach you how to purchase a claim from someone who's selling a claim. But I can tell you that for myself, I purchased my claims because at the time, back in 2010, when the last time prices of gold were going up, and I told myself I wanted to get some of that gold on me, but I didn't have the budget. So I worked with Mr. Crowley with Mindfinder Gold, and I purchased two of the claims from him. And the two claims that I have, I've had them assayed, and they both have gold on them. One of the claims, our 1776 adit, has a great value of gold. 1.71 ounces of gold per ton of high-grade ore. That's quartz with the magnetite and the hematite and all the oxidation involved. I'm going to be sharing with you some more of the older videos that I have from the last time I've been at the claims. Now, again, like I said, I'm outside of Houston. The claims are in Arizona, so I can't just walk out my door and go to my claims. I have to make a plan. I have to make itinerary. I have to make a trip, and it is something that I like to do twice a year because it's hot in the summer. So you go March, you go Halloween, you go March, you go Halloween, you go March, go Halloween, March, Halloween, March, Halloween. You grab sample, you crush rock, you run rock. We haven't purchased a $3,000 permit yet, but we don't. I really don't have to. I really don't look at the claim as a big production claim. I look at it like a private hole of money, maybe, where if I go in there and I want to spend a month or I want to spend a couple of months inside the hole, I'm going to come out with my money, with enough money for myself, right? Or with enough money for the work that was done, to pay for the work that was done and all that, and then pay myself. It doesn't take a lot to, especially with the price of gold these days. What are we at? $3,400 today, everybody? Silver did something weird today. The silver market did something weird today too, but I'll let you look at that. Okay, this is our elevation map. I really like the map because of the color contrast, but I don't want it to dominate everything. So what I want to do is I want to accentuate the positive and try to lower the negative of the map. And already just with the elevation, I'm able to see more with this elevation layer about the reality of the area than I am with just the satellite map. Okay, I'm going to go in, and now let me mention something else. Everybody's going to use their map different. Everyone's going to use their map differently, and that's okay. Maybe people are only going to use one layer at a time. Gold deposits and elevation, gold deposits and shaded relief, gold deposits and lithography. However you want to use it is okay. Once you get this map, have fun with it. The map is actually a tool, but if you're into cartography and maps, it's a cool map because of all these added niceties of the map. Shaded relief. Here's shaded relief. And again, as you see, if shaded relief has its button all the way up here, that means it's dominating the sheet. It's going to cover up everything beneath it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lower this a little bit so we can get through. I want the shaded relief because it actually shows us a little extra. Oh, let's get to the shaded relief. Here it is. About there. What I try not to do is make it so I can't read the highways and the byways in places. Okay. It's great. If you don't need to know where the highways and the byways are, that's fine. But when I'm actually trying to research an area, I'm going to try to do the highways and the byways. And you'll find something interesting about when you get to my claims. You'll say, oh, well, there's not a gold dot there. You know, gold dots are great. And what we like for people to recognize is that clusters of gold dots are the areas with the highest potential. But you also have to recognize that gold disperses. And at the same time, there's areas where there may be gold that hasn't been registered yet. So, but my claims are very close to a claim called the Rio del Monte gold mine. It's not in operation right now. In fact, I'll tell you right now, Let's see if we can zoom in a little closer. We'll zoom in a little closer. And we're going to, right here is Highway 10 right here. There's Siloam right there. Highway 10 is right here, right? Highway 10. Everybody knows Highway 10. It goes across the whole country, right? And under Siloam, if you come out of Siloam, right? Bump, 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 bump. If we come out of Siloam, here's Siloam. I want to be able to take this down just a little bit more. Okay, just so I can see a little bit more. Okay, there's Siloam, and I'm going to go up a little bit more. Siloam is a great little town on Highway 60. It has everything you need: place to eat, place to sleep. Snowbirds come here, stay for the winter. But what's most interesting to me, and what would be most interesting to you as gold prospectors, is that up in these mountains these are the little Harquahala Mountains. Little Harquahala Mountains over there are the Harquahala Mountains. There's something called Mine Road. And this road right here where you see this little divot come all the way over here, comes all the way from Highway 10. If you were to take it, if you want an adventure and you have a four-wheel drive and you're driving Highway 10 in this area, you can find this road right off here. That'll take you all the way up to Siloam following Mine Road. Why is it Mine Road? Well, because the Big Bonanza mine is up here, and the Golden Eagle mine is up here, and Rio del Monte mine is right here. I'll tell you right now that the Big Bonanza mine that is up in this area, right up in here, in the last 2 years, just received permitting for 2 new huge leach pits. That's right. They're back to gold mining at the historic Bonanza mine, using 2 new giant leach pits to separate beneficiation the gold from the ore using leach pits. I believe that's right here. You have your Bonanza mine that lives over here. You have your Golden Eagle mine, which lays over here. And you're following Harquahala Road is actually Mine Road. Get up over here, four-wheel drive. Okay. Rio del Monte mine is right here. And I'm going to show in other lives, because I'm just sticking with this map. And I don't know if I'm going to go the whole 2 hours, but I'm going to do as much as I can do. This is the Rio del Monte mine. The USG did a survey of the Rio del Monte mine in 1898. The first geological survey up in this area that was done by the government. And we have an enormous amount of historical information. Okay, let me go ahead. What I can do is I can just, let's take all this out. There's a Rio del Monte mine right here. Rio del Monte mine right here. Boom. Let's see if we can go see the Bonanza mine. We're just going to go up there. Harquahala Mine Road. Boom, boom, boom. Harquahala Mine Road. Let's zip out a little bit. There it is. Is that the Golden Eagle or is that the Bonanza? Okay. We'll hit that one. That's the Bonanza there. Oh, and there's the leach pits. There's the leach pits. There you go. Right? Just like I said. This is the new leach pits being created, probably finished for sure. I believe so. I've seen them already on video of the Bonanza mine. And they're going to get gold from the Bonanza mine, historical gold. Then the Golden Eagle's over there, and then we have the 1898 survey of the Rio del Monte mine, which is here. And we're going to get to our first location, and right here. You see this wash, how it runs. When I noticed this right here, I knew there was I knew I wanted to be in this area right here. It's a perfect spot. My claim, if I was to just hand it out, cuts right here. I don't know if I can, right in this general area right here. And I could probably zoom in. I'm going to zoom right in. There's a 1776. That's a 1776. Add it. There's an extra add it and a third add it there. This has been right here graded. This is a quartz vein, a crushed quartz vein that runs this way. I have another crushed quartz vein that runs here. But this here has been sampled and assayed out at a great rate. Once I got the assay back, I said, okay, it not even necessary to really go at it. Now, if tomorrow changes and I have the ability to go and do what I want to do, then we're going to get out there. We're going to dig that hole hard. But until I have that freedom, we are going to continue to make our maintenance fee payments every year by September 1st. That's right, August 31st, except this year. This year was different because of the holiday on September 1st. And August 31st was on a Sunday, so you had all the way till today. If you haven't paid for your maintenance fees, pay them today. Yeah, you have today. You have till today. Pay your maintenance fees. Okay, so that's exactly our adit. Okay, one of our adits. Our other claim is just right here, right? And here's a hill right here. Let's go ahead and see if I can turn on it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Turn off the boundary. Elevation. Really doesn't show here, but this is a little bit elevated there. Of course, the hills are more elevated than our area, but you'll see how all this washes down. But our claims are load claims. Our claims are not placer claims. Oh, that word is going to kill me. Our claims are not placer claims. They are load claims, which means the type of mining I can do, according to my claim, is hard rock mining. Now, there may be placer gold up and down this area, but I'm not so much interested in it unless I want to go out and create a new claim for a placer claim on the same claim that we have. Here's my second claim right here. Runs just this way. It includes all these veins here and this hill right here. This little hill right here, it's a hill, is full of chrysocolla. Chrysocolla is a huge indicator at breccia. Chrysocolla breccia. I should add that second. Chrysocolla breccia is copper breccia. It's like natural copper, iron, copper mineral, natural copper mineral concrete. The earth and rock and everything gets compressed together and it comes out in chunks that have been naturally compressed together like natural concrete. Now, while I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of placer there, this would be the area that I would check out and have checked out extensively. And there's gold in there. I have not assayed this claim. Have not. I've been very focused on this claim here because we already have some work that's already been done, and it's a lot easier to work in an area that already has work done than to create work. And especially since you have a choice, since I have a choice between working a hole that's already been worked or creating a new hole, I'd like to come over here because it's already been assayed. Okay, let's get rid of the elevation. And again, you'll see there how fast the layers load. So while the first time it may take longer than normal to load, the more times you load it, the faster it goes. Get back to where it was. Yeah, there's the road. I always know the road. Okay. What's great about the map, and you may say, oh, look at the map. Everywhere there's gold. The more you zoom out, the bigger the gold dots get, okay? And I'll just tell you that right now. The farther we zoom out, the larger the gold dots go. And so the more you zoom in, the more they get dispersed. And they start really, detailing the types of places you need to be going to search for your gold. Okay. So, Little Harquahala Mountains, the Big Bonanza Mine. We have the Golden Eagle Mine. Oh, that's Rio Del Monte. Maybe the Golden Eagle's all the way over there, or it's right here. There's 1, 2, 3 mines, and then we have our claims there, all up this mine road. They've been mining this whole thing. Mountains here, depression here. And the road goes up here. But you'll see, well, those gold dots are really starting to disperse, right? And even so, as much, my claim doesn't have one. Oh, but look, the Rio Del Monte has one dot. That dot represents all the gold that was pulled out of the Rio Del Monte mine. And you say, oh, well, what good does that do me? These dots and their general location, and you zoom out. You may not want to just go to that one location. You may rather go to areas that have multiple dots. But what we have to recognize, and what's really important to recognize, are gold-bearing regions, gold-bearing geology. The gold may not have come out of that spot directly, right? It may not have come out of my claim yet. I maybe have not registered that gold deposit yet. But each of these are registered gold deposits, proven gold deposits, which give us an opportunity to say, okay, where and how can I take advantage of this area? Because this area is rich with gold. But as you can see, there are only so many dots, right? And then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to throw on the claims. Okay, red squares are claims. Solid red squares mean there's more than one claim in this area. I have a piece of this. This is claimed up because of me. This is red because of my claim. Actually, what my claim does, it cuts across 2. Right. Of course, these are townships. These are all township squares. They're all associated to the BLM's township maps. Here's our claim here. Make sure that that's one. Boom. Actually, it's right here where there's more, but we have our claim that runs here. Someone's probably got another claim here. Someone's got another claim here. Well, now here's another tool that we have to utilize because, okay, I have gold. I have open claims. How can I go investigate for myself if there's really rich gold deposits that I can take advantage of in this area? Now, if I didn't know any better, the Rio Del Monte mine has been abandoned. I need to check on it because I'll tell you folks, seriously, and I have it in all my information already, and we can go over it. I know where the richest gold strikes were for this mine. I have the map shafts. I have the surveys. I have the results. The richest part of this mine, believe it or not, you see all this area here. The richest part of this mine actually was over here. Now, again, you see this, it's not open. Now, I don't know if somebody owns this property now, of course, because there's a lot of stuff here. There's a building there. There's some... this may have turned into a concrete and sand company, which means they're not making gold. Bear with me 1 second. And so it'd be great to actually it'd be very interesting, more research, right? There's nothing but learning and research going on here at Aurum Meum Academy. And I'm learning too. I'm the one doing a lot of the work so that you can get the benefit, right? But here's the real diamond mine. I believe it's been abandoned as a gold mine, but I know where all the rich gold veins are. And it wasn't any of this here. It was over here. All the real rich gold is over here. And so if I had to tell somebody where to go gold prospecting, and so that leads us right into the next point. Someone can call me up and reach out to me. If you purchase a map, let's work together. Let's put our heads together with the map, and I'll help you find a good place to go prospecting, because maybe it's here. But I can go back to my maps, my direct Rio Diamante mine maps. They'll show me where the shafts are. They'll show me where everything is. And I know exactly where the rich gold is. It was over here. I have images, claim layouts, because there's multiple segments. 1, 2, there's like 14 different segments of this, of what used to be this claim. Now look, so now I look here, there's a claim here, but now it doesn't extend to here, and it doesn't extend to here. All right, it's extending just right here. So maybe they reduced their claim to this size here, but like I said, but again, okay, something important to note, and this will happen as I do these shows. I'll say something, and as soon as I say something, I'll recognize something. You have a placer claim, a 20-acre placer claim. That's how they go. That's how they're sold in Arizona, places like Arizona. 600 feet up and down, 1,500 feet lengthwise, 600 feet up and down, 1,500 feet back. For a placer claim, you're restricted to the boundaries of that placer claim. As soon as you take a lode claim, which means you're following maybe a quartz vein underground, you can go past your claims. Once you're underground, you can go past your borders. And I guess I'll have to go look it up to check on if there's a distance. Now, of course, you can't go into someone else's claims, but you can extend your boundaries, or you could follow that strike. You could follow that vein outside your boundaries if you're a lode claim. They allow you to do that. You can do that all directions. So, Rio Diamante mine, I know of. Our claims are very close to there. These red boxes are open. They're only open. I have not included the closed claims. Maybe if I had involved the closed claims, there might be a blue box here, but I have not done that. I'll check on that, because that would be a great way to just have a blue box. Then you know it's closed, whatever. I've just only included open claims. So that keeps people away from here. Now, maybe you can go over here and prospect, but you would have to do the research, right? My claim is right here. Boom, 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 boom. And I know that there's other claims here, because Mr. Caroli had 10 claims. When I initially bought on, this was 6, this was 5, but it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So even though this box is red, we know there's a claim there. We just don't know where it is. So the best way to not get on somebody's claim is just to stay out of the red box. Find some place outside of the red box. And in combination, there's a lot of great places. I'll tell you right now, this is a great plot. There's a quartz vein that runs right here, right here, right here. There's like 3 of them right here, right here, right here, right here. Great spot to research. Maybe great spot to go and claim from here, 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 and here. A lot of regions contain different types of geology. I just clicked on the fracture quaternary fault lines, and as you see, there are no fault lines that show up. We'll scroll back and see if there's any quaternary fault lines close by. And most of them are in Nevada. There's one there. The quaternary fault lines show up as yellow lines. Those are great spots to go. Okay, but I know. I'll scroll out just to see what we got. Okay, they do, but they're more north. They're more north of us, right? So these are the quaternary fault lines. If you wanted quaternary fault lines are great places to go gold prospecting, right? Great opportunity to research, prospect these areas. You see that there's a lot of fault lines that don't have claims associated to them. There's fault lines that have gold associated to them, but no claims. It would be another great spot. You have to find out if it's close to a road, good enough for you to get in on and to operate. Like here's some great spots here. And so that was one of the things that we're going to include with AI is you're going to buy the Arizona AI Gold Map. You're going to reach out to me and say, hey, Francis, I want to go up to about 1 mile of 89A on Jacob Lake. Can you give me a little better input about what I might find up there or where I should go so that I don't waste my time? I would take that request. I would take this image and pump it into AI. AI will first, what it does is it goes into available data, not maps, but available data on gold mining for the United States. It will focus on this region, right? And then it will use the map image and it will come up with what we're calling a raster interpretation. And starting in 2026, we're going to have raster layers. We're going to have LiDAR layers. We're going to be adding in a lot of new types of layers into this map. Now we see that there's a lot of quaternary faults here, but we don't see a whole lot of gold dots. Well, this looks like it's really in the wilderness, so someone might really have to hike out here. But here, now look at here. We get up toward Grand Canyon Village, right? Grand Canyon Village. They have gold. They have gold veins. Now we have to decide. This is another important part. Now there's a claim over here. You may not be able to claim any of this. Now I'll tell anybody who comes and watches the video, one of the most important parts of gold prospecting is that you gold prospect correctly. That you gold prospect correctly. That means no going on other people's claims, no prospecting in places that you're not supposed to, state parks that say no, national forests that say no. You have to know the rules and the regulations of your area. Please, if you're going to take all the time to buy a map and go out and adventure and prospect, don't find yourself in a bad situation because you went to a place you shouldn't have gone. But you see here, what we see here a lot of, and we see a lot of claims around these folks, but we really haven't got the gold dots. So I would take this area, right, and I would pump it into AI, and I would get some information back. We might get some new yellow dots, right? We might get some new yellow dots from AI because they've gone out and extracted it from information online. So quaternary faults are zones and lines where faults are active. Now, they may be an old fault. Quaternary faults are new faults. Okay, I'm going to turn off pretty much everything. Wow. SRTM topographic diversity. Topographic diversity. Let's see if I can turn down a little bit. See, it's this ability to, and this is physiography, the ability to utilize more than one layer allows, and here's your rock types. It's already layered down. No, I'm going to turn down a little bit more. And as we research more and more about the different rock types that are in the lithography map, we'll find out, well, maybe I should go here instead of here. Gold is more often found here than here. These white portions of the SRTM topographic map denote elevations, ridges. So you have mountain peaks and you have canyon bottoms. A lot of it is, what it really shows off is ridges. That's a real hard ridge there, real hard ridge there, real hard ridge there. A lot of times it makes certain areas more profitable and a much better place to go prospect than other. Altos is another type of rock type. And then shaded relief, we get shaded relief in. There's one of these that are over the top, and so I'm going to turn them all off. And the best thing to do with the map, of course, is to use it, to work it, to find the layers, to find the connections. The map is a map. It doesn't come with a library of information, unfortunately. Hopefully the library of information can be found back on the YouTube for Aurum Meum AI. But I want you to get a chance. It's 1:11 p.m. I'm not going to make it to 2 hours. I came in a little bit late, 12:12. We're going to do an hour today. I gave you a little bit of information, a little bit of insight on these maps. I'm going to do more. We're going to work on other people's favorite places, because I just found out during this show that mine's kind of boring, except the fact there's a lot of minds around, and my mind might happen to be assayed correctly. When we get down to it, we have to use different properties of maps to get the most out of it, so that when we go gold prospect, well, if we were to go gold prospecting using this map, we are entitled to all the layers measured together to give us the best output. And then if we get to a point where we're not positively sure, and I'm about to go spend a couple $100 in 2 days to go prospecting, maybe I'll give Francis a call up and get some added support and maybe an extra AI reading on the area that you want to go. And that would probably be the best recommendation for me to you. I can tell you that people have been loving the maps. I haven't had anybody ask for me to pay them back for the map afterwards. Everyone's gotten great service. Like I said, I get right back to everybody very, very quickly. I guarantee that you won't be sorry that you got the map and that you're getting great service from me, because you'll have an opportunity to come to me while I'm live right now, on Facebook, on YouTube, creating these videos for you. So I'm going to wish you all a great day. I'm going to promise you that for the next show, I will probably do a little bit more preparations. Been a busy weekend, been a busy morning. Right before the show started, everything went kapow like normally. But my name's Francis Walsh, Technology Director at Aurum Meum AI Academy and Aurum Meum AI Gold Maps. I want to wish you a great Tuesday afternoon. Look for me again probably tomorrow or the next day. I'll put a post in the community post to tell you when I'm going to do my next live. I'd love to come in every day and have some conversations with folks who are here. Check in. Oh, and I do have a lot of comments. I have a lot of commenters. Let me see. I'm going to go down while y'all are here. Hopefully, maybe you're here, 12:59. I'm doing fine, Muhammad. I was on my map, so I wasn't able to see the comments coming in. Mohammed, I kindly take lecture about metal detectors. I'm a better cartographer than I am a metal detector, but I can create content around metal detecting, and I'm gonna take you up on that. So, Mohammed Asghar, come back soon, and you're gonna find a whole series of metal detecting clips for you to watch. Okay, guaranteed. Let's see what. Hey, Jesus Jimenez, what's up, man? I hope you're having a good day. I'm sorry I didn't answer you right away. I was watching the map. Each day we're gonna get a little bit further and further into different states because we already had 2 requests: North Carolina, Idaho. I started with Arizona. We'll see how it goes. It's the best I can do. Is this New Mexico? No, Jesus. It was Arizona, not New Mexico. I really appreciate you watching. I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you all. Happy mining. Come get a map from Aurum Meum AI Academy, Aurum Meum AI Gold Maps at aurummeum.com. This is Francis Walsh, Technology Director, signing off. See ya.